right, everybody. Greetings, 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 greetings. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Brown Girls Are Beautiful, y'all. I'm your hostess and your melanated queen. Excuse me for a second. Excuse me for a second. I got to turn this camera off for a moment because I'm trying to get something situated here. Okay, trying to get something situated, y'all. Let's see. I had something connected and I want to see if it's charging. Might not be doing what I'm supposed to be doing all the way. But anyway, let's just try it out for a second. Y'all, I know it's late. You have to forgive me for coming on here a little late, y'all. But I decided that I'm still going to come on here and address y'all because I have important stuff to talk about. So I don't know why I always look like I'm shiny when I come on here. But so if you saw my earlier live stream, you know I talked about the bigger the blessing, the bigger the demonic attack. And as soon as I said that, why did I get attacked by a demon today? That's what I'm coming on here to talk about is my experience. You guys, I was attacked by a demonic demon today. Oh, it was very much a demonic attack. And guess what? It was by one of our very own, what people like to call a black female. Okay. Now, this black female, I don't know where the hostility came from, guys, because I promise I was on my best behavior. I did nothing to provoke this demonic energy from this miserable black female. But yet and still, she felt the need to antagonize me for something so very minuscule and petty. And for whatever reason, you guys, she just couldn't control her energy. It's like for some reason, I feel like I provoke. She was a provoking demonic entity. That's what I want to call it, a provoking demonic entity. So let's talk about these entities that like to provoke. Okay. Now, for some reason, I think I trigger people without even trying. Okay. I don't know if it's, let me go live here, y'all. Let me go live in two places at once. Okay. At the same damn time. At the same damn time. That's what Puffy said. At the same damn time. Greetings, greetings. Okay, I'm going to greetings again. Welcome, welcome to another episode. For those of you who don't, what's good, Black Dot LaFleur? Hey, for those of you who are new in the building, thank you for joining. Okay, thank you for watching. We're going to talk about demonic energy and the fact that some people trigger the worst out of some people bring demons out of other people. And I think I'm one of those people that bring the demons out of people, and I'm not even trying. I think females, especially melanated females, get very triggered by me. And I just still can't understand the antics because I get a lot of love in certain places that I go, y'all. So I'm not understanding why these females are having these issues with me. And like I was saying earlier, somebody got triggered by something so minuscule. It was quite sad and quite ridiculous how they behaved to the point that they went on to call me out of my name, uh, threatened to do bodily harm to me. And so, guess what? This means that they committed a misdemeanor, guys. That means that they can have criminal charges pressed against them. And judging from what's going on with the fact that they're in the medical field, in the medical background, Ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, let me tell you something. Whenever you have a license, you don't want to get yourself in trouble because you could risk losing your license for anything that you do. This is even when I used to do insurance claims. Every year we had to do like a renewal on our license, and they would always ask these questions. Do you have any judgments, liens, criminal activity, felonies, misdemeanors? Did anything come onto your record? And you would have to answer these questions. What's good, Facts Galaxy? Glad to see you in the building. Demonic energy attacked as quickly as we had that conversation earlier, Fox Galaxy. The demonic energy attacked that quick, fast, and in a hurry. So I'm going to tell y'all. So this person is in the medical field. I think they're in nursing, and they don't want to lose their nursing license behind a misdemeanor because they threatened to do bodily harm to me, guys. Because you know I'm very petite. This person is twice my size, and I don't play around. Even though I keep that heat on me and I keep other things on me, I have to think. Remember, I told you on my videos, I said, always remember there'll be someone trying to provoke you who have less to lose than what you have. When you have more to gain and more to lose than these people, be careful, because a person that doesn't have anything to lose will cause you to lose everything. I just said this earlier today. And by doing my research on this individual, I found out that they're living at home with their parents at the mere age of 38 years old. That's number one. Number two, the parent does not own the residence. Okay. They're living with a mother, probably a single mother, and their brother, and they're renting. And this person has, I think, a revoked driver's license and some other things in their criminal past. All right. So don't play with the queen. Don't conjure up the queen, right? Because you don't really know who you're playing with. There are people that play chess, not checkers, right? Yes, I'm fine, Fox Galaxy. Unfortunately, the evil entities are not okay, right? Because I guess I'm just provoking these idiots. You said they don't like your positivity and how happy you are. Sad to say, Black Dot LaFleur, Fox Galaxy. Yes, people are crazy. Fox Galaxy and I were just talking about this earlier about how he can't be happy. I was listening to music earlier in the car. I was talking to my mother, my sister. I was like, "Do y'all remember this song? You know that song by Pharrell? I was just fronting. I know you don't care at all. Dun, 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 dun. You should stop fronting. You know I want you, baby." That was playing, and then H Town, good loving body, rocking, knocking boots all night long. Uh-uh. That song came on, and my sister was like, "Oh, she jamming." Y'all, that quick, fast, and in a hurry, demonic energy came later that evening, trying to ruin the day. But I'm gonna tell you something. They couldn't ruin my day because I got something I want to show y'all. I got something I want to share with y'all. All right. So I don't know if okay, hold on, y'all. Hold up. They don't love you like I love you. Slow down. They don't love you like I love you. Back up. They don't love you like I love you. All right, hold on, y'all. Let me go back to the channel. All right. We were chatting about it earlier as she mentioned it. I know I'm being Captain Obvious. Yeah, we were talking about it. And oh, look at that. 11:11 right now on the dot, y'all. It's 11:11 on the dot. So I know that the universe is tapping into my divine energy. Um, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Um, let me see if I can share something with y'all that I wanted to share with y'all. Got my police report filled out today. Um, basically, I have grounds to press charges if I so choose to do so. And believe and trust me, I will if I feel the need to do so. You're not going to sit there and threaten me and think that nothing's going to come about of it. I have too much to lose. I don't want to lose my real estate license going back and forth with a ratchet bitch, right? You said, I'm just happy you're okay. I am always going to be okay. Thank you, Black Dot LaFleur, because the bitch won't go do nothing to me. Um, And then you don't want to ever get yourself in trouble, y'all. This is a lesson to be learned. You don't ever want to put yourself in a situation where you can get yourself in trouble over somebody that's not worth it when you know you have, too much going for yourself. So I know people like to say, "Oh, I don't, da 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 da. I don't deal with the police." I don't either. But if I have to, I will. Okay. If I have to, effing will. Because one thing you're not going to do is think you're going to talk to me crazy and threaten me. Okay. We don't do that over here. And I'm not going to get accustomed to this type of treatment. Yeah. All right. Let me come back on here. Where am I at? Y'all, what happened to my freaking live? Oh, here it is. Resume. I'm here, y'all. All right, so let's see here. I was trying to send myself something. Let's see, did it come through? I don't know if it's coming through or not, y'all. Oh, I got it right here. Okay, so let me show you the type of energy that I invoke in people. Let me show you the type of spiritual happiness that I bring around, right? Now, y'all know. Wait a minute, y'all. Tell everybody who they should buy a house from. 100% Tanita. Oh my God. Oh my God. Don't I send you? She's going to take great care of you, just like she took great care of us. Thank you. And make sure you let them know that I'm the real estate queen of Charlotte. She's the real estate queen of Charlotte. That's what I've heard from many people. They are funny, y'all. But this was after that situation with the black bitch, right? So two of those girls are from Israel. One is from Charleston, South Carolina, and the guy, I think he's from, I don't know where he's from. He might be from North Carolina or South Carolina, right? So we were just talking, and I was just telling them what had happened earlier. And they were like so shocked and so surprised and everything like that, right? And when I was telling them what went on, they were like, "Oh my gosh!" So I had we got in conversation. I was telling them I was a realtor. So one of the girls was like, "Oh, you're a realtor, da 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 da," and I was like, "Yeah, I'll give you one of my flyers." She's like, "Oh, you have a flyer?" So they took my flyers. I said, "Make sure you share it with all your people, cause y'all, they they come from like a well, they're in a high affluent area or whatever." So anyway, they got all excited and they were looking at me, and the girl was like, "Oh, you're so beautiful." And then when they saw my flyer, they were like, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful." And so one of the girls, she was like, "Can I get a hug?" So I hugged her, and I said, "Y'all want to do a video for me?" They were like, "Oh my God, yes, yes." They got all excited. It was like, "We'll do the video. We'll do the video." And so the guy, he was like something about he has a drone, a drone, a DJI Neo 2. And I was like, "I do too." And he said, "You could totally use that for real estate." And I was like, "Yeah, I could." So then he was like, "Let me show you some of my aerial shots of like over top of our house." So like he took all these aerial shots of like up in the mountains over top their house. I was like, "You did this?" I said, "This looks amazing." He was like, "Yeah, I like photography." And he was like, "Hold on, guys, let me talk to her. Like, we're connecting over here." So he was like, "We're connecting over the drone." So he was all excited. Y'all, they were so excited to talk to me. I just felt like a celebrity at that point. And you could hear in the video how excited they were. So he was showing me all his photos. So I said, "Make sure you follow my social media." I was like, "And I'm going to follow you back." I said, "Your pictures look amazing." And he was like, "Yeah, I have a Sony camera." I said, "I'm so into cameras too." And I was like, "I love photography and I like taking pictures of nature." And he did. And he showed me a picture of these ducks in the water and all this stuff he was taking photos of. So, melanated people, go get you some friends of other ethnic races and other ethnicities, okay? You don't have to be out here getting antagonized and demonized by black female ratchets, okay? And people that look like you, they're hating on you. Y'all don't have to go through this mistreatment, this traumatization that they're putting us through. Because, my encounter and my experience earlier had my mother highly upset. And that's what upsets me, because I don't like for her nerves to be unraveled because she feels like someone is mistreating me in such a harsh way. Because I know I don't deserve it. But a lot of people, they just carry this negative energy and they're looking for someone to take it out on. Thank you, Black Dot LaFleur. That's sweet of you. Hey, Trissy, glad to see you in the building. So, yes, I'm talking about this topic again because I just had an encounter not that long ago. I was on here talking about it, and yet here I am again. So, another example, I called my friend out in Dallas to check on her, as I do check on her because she's going through a lot, y'all. So, prayers to my friend in Dallas, okay? And she's actually going to try to transfer from the school that she's working at because she's going through it with the Black female Ratchets as well. Now, I tell you, my friend likes to dress, keeps her hair done, nails done. She's great at like fashion, designing. She's just aesthetically, she likes beautiful things, y'all. She's just a very girly female. Nice personality, likes to be in a good mood. However, you stop dealing with ratchets since middle school days. I don't deal with them either, but some of these ratchets come disguised. They come in disguise, Trissy B. Just in case you didn't know, you got to feel the energy of these ratchets because they might not look ratchet, but you can sense their energy the moment they start opening their nasty little mouths. Okay. So the thing is, she was telling me yesterday that she is working in a classroom with another teacher. And when she came back, they took her desk out of the classroom. So I said, they took your desk out of the classroom. What are you supposed to use? And she's like, it's okay. I just told him I don't even care if I have a desk. I was like, really? So she was like, there was an extra desk on the stage in the auditorium. In the auditorium, she was going to ask if she could have it. So the janitor was like, oh, well, let me check. They said you can't have that desk either. And I said, why can't you have that desk? And she was like, oh, they said they have to give it to someone. So she said, that's okay. I don't even care. You just keep it. So she told me the other day she's going to see if she can transfer. Now, I told her in advance, I did forewarn her. I said, look, you're going to have to travel a distance away to get away from this area because it sounds like in this localized vicinity it's a ratchet situation going on. You're going to deal with these melanated Black female bitches that are going to put you through these antics. The woman in her classroom has already been making statements about the fact that she's on psychotic medication. Oh, I need to take my medication today, and just giving these little underhanded comments. I said the reason she's saying that is because she's trying to forewarn you that if she happens to snap or mistreat you in some way, she can back it up and say, oh, well, I'm on medication. I was like, you don't even need to be dealing with that, right? You don't need to be starting your school year off with that nonsense. So I told her, I said, didn't you say that there was a white principal that wanted to invite you to the school? Why don't you go there? And she was telling me she didn't want to go there because it was more of a travel distance. She was going to spend a lot of money in gas. It's like 30 minutes away. I was like, look, I'd rather travel the distance than be around these ratchets because you're not going to have a good experience being around these females. So I think she took my advice, and the other day she told me that they're going to have another like open house where you can pick another school. So I called her to check on her today to see how it went. But she said it got canceled. They're going to do it tomorrow. So she's going to take tomorrow off, guys. And hopefully she'll get to talk to another principal and transfer. I really hope it works out. So prayers to her because it's just a certain type of female that we are. We cannot be around these petty Black African American bitches and these ratchets, y'all. We can't be around these project ghetto hood rat mentality females. And like, even if they don't live in the ghetto, even if they don't present themselves that way, it still resides in them somewhere. They still have nasty attitudes, if that makes any sense, right? If I'm not having a good day, if something is going awry in my world, I try not to take it out on people who did nothing to me. All right. But this seems to be like a repeated pattern with these females. And now I'm starting to understand more and more why more people like to like not deal with them. Like a lot of men don't want to deal with them because their attitudes are the nastiest. I remember years ago when we moved to a particular state, to a particular city, I used to see these females walking around, and I used to look at the demeanor on their faces, and I'm like, why do they look so nasty and disgruntled and mean in the face, y'all? I used to really wonder about this. And she said, and somebody said, that's just how they look. They just look that way. But I'm like, why? They look like they're angry at the world. Like, what is wrong with them? I promise you guys, I think I talked about this before on the channel. Whenever I go to like any type of store or retail place, I try not to even get in their line. I will tell people that's behind me that you can get in, you can go in front of me. If I'm next and I'm about to go to the line, I don't want to deal with them. Especially, if you have a return. You don't want to deal with them. You don't even want to deal with them. But now they have like a customer service department that you can go to. But usually I try to stay clear of them. I try not to go through their line. I try not to have any interactions with them. And if I have to ask someone a question, I try to avoid them at all costs. I'll ask a male. Like one day I was in the store. Y'all know this store called At Home. It's like a store full of like home decor, right? I was there and I was looking for something in particular. So there was a black female and there was a melanated male. So I was like, I'm not even going to ask her. I'm just going to ask him, where can I find this item? So I was like, excuse me. So I really was talking to him, but she tried to interject and, she tried to put herself in the conversation when I really wasn't trying to even address her. And she really didn't have much knowledge about the particular item. And he was more helpful than she was, as typical, right? Very typical. Usually, this is the type of treatment you receive from other melanated females. They don't try to help you. They have a very nonsensical, lackadaisical attitude. They don't care, right? They don't care about their job. They don't care about good customer service experience. But then when they go and try to have some type of customer service that is aided to them, they want to act like they're supposed to be receiving the world's top service, right? With their nastiest attitudes, y'all. And I've been seeing people post a lot about this on social media, especially talking about these people will go out to eat and not want to tip. I've heard about that. This is why I've never really wanted to work in the waitressing industry. And I heard you can make a lot of money waitressing if you go to the right establishments. But they said they don't like to tip. They and they probably don't. They said they can tell when these people are going to cause the most issues and not leave a tip for like the server. They'll ask all the questions, have you running back and forth all day, and it's just embarrassing. They set a bad example, for a lot of females out here that are melanated, which I try to separate myself from that caliber of a female, right? Because I feel like I'm on a whole different level. A lot of you, if you're on this channel, you're on a whole different level. So you can very much understand what I'm talking about. It's those types. It's the type that, they feel very entitled. And for what reason do they feel entitled? I don't know. Like they're delusional in the head, right? They think somebody's supposed to run and jump over barricades for them. And it doesn't work that way. And another thing they don't like is when they give you negative energy and you give it back to them. You serve it up to them on a platter and smash it back in their face, how they deserve to receive it, because this is how they came off at you. So you match their energy and they can't handle it, right? We don't have time in 2026 to deal with their nastiest attitudes, and they need to be called out. People need to talk about this, because I don't know why people like to come on and give them false hope. Oh, they're black queens. No, the hell they're not. All right. Nobody wants to deal with their antics. Let's just be realistic here. People are tired of it. They talk about black fatigue. I have had black fatigue for decades at this point, for years, at least 10 to 15 years. And that is by no stretch of the imagination. As a matter of fact, if I get around a group of them, I don't even talk to them. Why? Because as a melanated female, they are basically like a group of hyenas looking at you like you're prey coming in, coming into uncharted territory. This is how they act, right? Don't be by yourself. Don't be an attractive female. Don't be a person that does not fit the stereotypical, you know, scenario of what they think a black female should be, or a melanated female should be, or African American. That's what they like to call us. When you're different, they're triggered, they're bothered. I talked about this on the channel, y'all. I experienced this as a teenager. Grown females, okay? Grown females antagonizing me as a teenager in their 30s, in their mid 30s, right? It is sad. It is sad as a people. This is what we have to endure just to exist in this world. And I'm not going to tone down anything to make insecure bitches feel better about themselves. No, I'm not. And then I'm not going to be disrespected. And then also, what I'm not going to do is jeopardize my future and everything that I have, throwing it down the toilet for somebody that doesn't have SHIT, right? When they're living at home with their mother at almost 40 and their driver's license is suspended and revoked. Okay. We don't have time for this nonsense, y'all. So that's my little caveat right there, from Brown Girls Are Beautiful. Whoever gets offended by it, I really don't care. Because most of the time, if a person gets offended, if they are a hit dog hollering, then they are a hit dog that probably I'm talking about. Somebody needs to address it. And I can say this because I've been through it and I go through it. A lot of people don't want to talk about the real topics on Brown Girls Are Beautiful. I'm going to talk about it. Just like I talk about any other ethnic group, I'm going to talk about these ratchet, ghetto, demonic females. And like I said, it doesn't always have to be the stereotypical type. A lot of times, thank you, Trissy B, they are in disguise. They can be working, because this person actually works in the medical field and was acting like this at her fucking job in the parking lot. That's the sad part, y'all. I could have, I should have reported this bitch, but that's okay. She's got a report coming. If she wants criminal charges, she can get that too. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. It's not my medical license. But my whole point is this: like, a lot of times these bitches come wrapped up like a wolf in sheep's clothing. They look unsuspecting, but the minute they open their mouth and you sense their nasty, trashy, raggedy ass attitudes, you know exactly what's in them. Nastiness. They're very nasty. Then you have the type that, because they have a title, or because they have a certain position of authority, or they could have a high paying job or a nice career, they're very snobbish and they're very nasty in their demeanor towards other melanated females. They like to also look down on other females if they think they're above these females because of a title, because of a job, because of a false sense of authority that they have. Don't you know the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh? Not that I'm so much into the Bible, but you got to be really careful of how you treat other people, in this world, because you think that you're so high and mighty. You're not all of that. Because when we leave off this planet, nobody's going to sit there and say, oh, this person was the manager at such and such and da, da, da. Nobody cares. Everybody's going to look at, what type of person were you? How did you make them feel when you were around? What type of energy and vibe did you put out? What type of karmic debt did you create on this planet when you were here? Were you a nasty individual? Were you somebody nobody liked to be around? People remember this. Most of them are mad because you're not worse off like them. Yes, Trissy, they're mad. They're mad. And you know what? And like I was telling Fox Galaxy earlier, some of them can actually have more than you. Some of them can have, be more established than you. And they still have this nasty, fixated, energy harvesting fixation on you. Like I don't know if I told y'all about when I was working at the school for the first time in my life, and I was being antagonized and harassed by the principal. She is a principal. I'm just coming to the school. I'm not trying to make this my career. I'm just there. But for some reason, she was triggered by me. She was bothered by me, following me through the halls, having other teachers to spy on me, asking them about my whereabouts, y'all. It's the mentality their mothers were horrible to them. I think it was something like that that could have been going on. And I think they're not completely happy with themselves. And they're looking for somebody to take their misery out on. And who better to take their misery out on than another melanated female? Because we all know that melanated females love to hate melanated females more than anything in this world. Despite what melanated men do to them, I noticed that melanated females will take the crap off of a melanated male. He can cheat on her, he can lie to her, he can use her, he can disrespect her, he can do all these things, and she will stay there and keep taking the abuse. But as soon as a female counterpart does the slightest thing to her, oh, that's it, she's letting this bitch have it, I'm cutting her off. Like, she wreaks havoc on this female, and this could have been her friend. This was her so-called friend. That's why I don't take the word friend very loosely. I say colleague. If you notice on the channel, I say associates. Friends, I don't have a lot of those. And the more that you live in this world and the more you go on in this life, you'll find out that your friends are not your friends, y'all. You'll find out that your family is not your real family. Blood doesn't make you family. It makes you biologically related to that person. That's it. That's all that does. Because a lot of your haters will be in your own immediate family. Sad to say, but true. Moorish kings and queens, how are you doing? You know what? Let me tell you something, Moorish kings. Thank you for coming up here. My uncle, okay, and this is who you remind me of. My uncle had a handle called Moorish King, and he passed away the other year. And I have a recording of him and I talking, and he would always, always, always have something positive, something good to say about me, something encouraging. He's an uncle on my father's side. And I remember him, and I didn't know he was sick, y'all, but he passed away. And I still probably have some of his comments posted on my social media. So shout out to you, Morris King. Now I'm going to tell you something. The females, let's get into these females in the family on the father's side. They have so many negative things to say about not only just me, but about my mother, some about my sister. And y'all, my sister is like the type of personality that a lot of people get along with her. Now with me, either you love me or you hate me. I really don't care. Right at this point in time in my life, I used to let it affect me. Like when I was in high school, I used to not want people to not like me. I used to question myself, why do they not like me? You know, you don't want to be in the mirror too long fixing your hair. They might think that you're what is it, like you're so into yourself. I had one girl tell me, "Oh, you love yourself so much." Like, just people are just miserable, y'all. And it's like everybody else can go and fix their hair in the mirror, but if I do it, it's a problem. You know, just stupid stuff, y'all. And it's like we have to like ignore the nonsense, ignore the negativity, ignore the pettiness, and you just really have to grow, you know, confidence in yourself. A lot of females don't like for you to be confident in yourself, because when you're confident in yourself, they can't tear you down. Like, they're going to pick on you for whatever. Like, my whole life, you know what I kept hearing? Because I'm so petite. Oh, you're so small. Oh, you need to gain weight. You need to eat a cheeseburger. Y'all, here's the crazy part. I used to, like in high school, I used to go to Burger King, me, my sister, almost every day. I was trying to gain weight. We used to go and like eat fast food all the time. That didn't put weight on me. That ran up my cholesterol level. Okay. So the doctors told me I have a very high metabolism. So it's going to take a lot for me to gain weight. All right. I don't just gain weight easily. But other people are offended by this. They're offended by my metabolism level. Why are you offended by something that's biologically embedded in me. I have heard so many things about myself. Oh, she is stuck up. You don't even talk to me, don't even know me, right? She thinks she's cute because she got a little bit of hair. Actually, I don't have a little bit of hair. I have a lot of hair. But that's not why first of all, you should think you're cute. Secondly, I didn't think I was cute because I had a little bit of hair. I think they thought I was cute. That's why they were bringing it up, which is stupid to me. I didn't know that females and people were this petty until we moved back to the United States. This is why I talk about the low vibrational energy here, y'all. I didn't know that melanated females were like this. Oh, are those your real nails? Because my sister and I, we always had long nails. Just stupid stuff, dumb stuff that I didn't know people were even keeping tally of. And this is the low standard that a lot of melanated females are still on in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, y'all. And some even in their 60s. And the worst type are the ones that are reaching middle age and they still are on this pettiness because that lets you know that they have never matured. They are still on a high school mentality. And I was talking to one of the girls from Israel. We didn't really get to talk that long because they were all talking over top of one another to me. But she was just saying that Israel is a beautiful country. She was saying that everyone has to serve in the military over there for like 3 years in the army. She was saying that on Tuesdays, they be on the street partying. They rest on Fridays. Fridays are like their Sundays here. And yeah, Trissy, they've never evolved. I love how you said that. Um, Also, a lot of them over there are Jewish. Um, what else did she say? She said it's a beautiful country. She said over there, like if you are in need or if you're in help, say you fall, you hurt yourself, everybody's going to come try to help you. They'll crowd around you and try to offer you help. She was saying that mentally, at her age, she's only 21, but she was just saying that over here is so different mentally here. The Americanized mindset, they're not where she is mentally. Like they're on a lower level. And I didn't get offended by that because I understand exactly what she means. Like Americans don't really understand how regressed we a lot of people are with their mentality, and they get caught up on all the wrong things here. There's no camaraderie. It's all competition, which is ridiculous. Tinkapoo. And she was so excited to tell me about her country. She was like, you should visit. It's beautiful. They have the mountains. And I was like, I'm a little terrified to be visiting Israel right about now. And I said, because I don't agree with what's going on over there. And she said, oh, no, I totally get it. But like, you would like it. And so it was a very interesting conversation. Why are you crying? They can hear you. Yeah, so Tinkerbell, y'all, she's in my lap right now, purring and vying for my attention. Are you trying to get comfortable? Yeah, you about to go in the cage. You about to go in the cage. So, y'all, just get you some friends that are from different cultures and backgrounds is what I would recommend. Don't try to stick to like, oh yeah, we're gonna stick to they're not gonna stick together. Let's just be honest. They're not gonna stick together. They're gonna find a way to try to sabotage you because they're gonna see you as competition, especially if you're a female and you're melanated. I'm sorry to say it. And don't have something going for yourself because that is even more threat to them. They're more insecure and they're going to find a way to try to ruin it for you. And I hate to say this, but this is the sad reality of these people, y'all, begrudgingly. Okay. And I have to really say the truth. This is why I say I prefer to be around realtors or people that have certain career paths because usually they're not thinking on this low minuscule level like somebody that's in the medical field. Okay, not saying that that's a low career path, but a lot of females do take up nursing or they do nail techs, and they still have this low vibrational energies. Sometimes the people in the nursing field, they mistreat patients, they mistreat the elderly. I know this for a fact. Somebody was telling me that their counterpart was in the nursing field and was mistreating their grandmother. So they just be having negative attitudes, and I don't know why. I don't know what this is. It's like they're mad at life, miserable in the world, and they want somebody to take it out on. And the only person they try to take it out on is another melanated female. I love the fact that Tracy said they never evolved. They have not. So this is why I'm talking about it. Someone needs to spread light on this issue. I don't just come on here and talk about males, melanated males. I also talk about the females because they are a big problem. If I were a melanated male, I probably wouldn't want to talk to them either because I don't want to deal with their nasty ass attitudes. They go around with a sense of entitlement for no reason, and I don't know why. You know, it's just, and it gets worse. It gets worse. Each generation gets nastier and more hateful, y'all. At the end of it all, people are not going to want to procreate with one another, because why would you want to procreate with a barbarian? Your genetic DNA is too divine to be just mixing and mingling with anybody, these creature features out here, beastly looking broads. Okay. So yeah, y'all. I just had to come on here and talk about that. So don't feel that it's you. If you're going through this, don't feel that it's you. It's not you. It's these creature features out here, y'all. We're living in a different day and time where people are trying to usurp and harvest our energy. You said you think it would be the other way around. People would be getting kinder, says V73. I would think so too, but I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with people, V. Because I did talk to a lady, and she was saying that she feels like these are the signs of the times, like we're living in the last days. She was saying that, and it does feel that way energetically. It just feels very unsettling. I'll say that energetically. It feels very unsettling with everything that is going on in this world. But I just really want to send some encouragement and positivity out there. I know the video seems negative, but it's a real video. It's about reality. And I just want to let y'all know, if y'all are dealing with any type of low vibrational energy around you, just to keep your positivity, keep your mindset high, and don't let somebody trick you out of your blessing. That's another topic that I need to talk about on this channel. Don't let the devil trick you out of your blessings, because there are people that are sent here. They're demonic. And what this is provoking spirits, provoking energy, meant to provoke you into an argument, meant to provoke you into a physical altercation. So then if I do something and I could get myself in trouble. Now, what is that? Okay, you could run the risk of getting locked up, going to jail, having to try to get an attorney, monetary, issues arise because now you have to secure an attorney. You got to fight your way out of this, and then it's like, all for what? Because somebody was having a bad day. It's not worth it, y'all. You risk losing your license or losing your career, or if you have a job, losing your job. Then that impacts if you have a house, if you have a home, if you have a car payment. These things fall behind. You can't pay your bills. Who has time for this? And that's what a lot of these people are sent here to do, to trick you out of your blessings. Don't let people do that to y'all. I didn't see what you wrote. It looks like your messages have been retracted by YouTube V. So I didn't see what that was. And also Black Dot LaFleur. I think Black Dot LaFleur, are you a wrench holder? I think you are. Fox Galaxy is. Yeah, so they try to suck you into their misery. Yes, they do. They really do. Why did she jump? You about to go in the cage. I don't know why she jumped down like that. They do. They want you to be miserable because they're miserable. Like, they can't. I was just saying this earlier. They don't like to see you smile. They don't like to see you happy. They don't like to see you with like a carefree demeanor, being lighthearted. They want you to be on this low frequency that they're on. And if you're not on that low frequency, then they see you as a problem. People are really like this in real life, and it's sad. And a lot of these people can be found right on your jobs, right on your job. That's where they're found. It's so sad, y'all. I've had my experience with this a lot of times, usually with Black females. Sad to say it. sad to say it, you know, I left that school. I actually resigned from that position with that principal. And this was not that long. This was only a few years ago. Yeah, I went through so much in 2023, back to back to back to back. It was horrific. I don't know what was going on. And I resigned from that position and I was like, I don't have to deal with this. And then that's when I started substitute teaching because I had control over my schedule, what school I went to, if I wanted to work that day, if I wanted to work half a day, I had more control. And see, the way that I am, because of the person that I am meant to work independently. I am not meant to work with a bunch of other females flocking around me. No, it's not going to work. And if I'm going to be dealing with something, I have to be in control of it, or I have to be like the overseer of it. I'm an independent worker. I don't need to be micromanaged. I can't stand micromanagers, but a lot of people like to try to micromanage me, and that doesn't work well for me. You said you're a white male and you had to deal with it, the white males at work. Isn't that funny? Navi, I would have never suspected that you would have to go through that at work. Because in my person, I'm just going to be honest, in my personal opinion, like it seems like white people, like working with them, it just seems like they get along with one another. Did someone give you a black eye? Nobody gave me a black. What are you talking about? Nobody gave me a black eye. The only time I ever had a black eye, Rashard Baker, was twice. Once when I was in elementary school, I was on the bus dealing with a black female. Again, I probably was in like the fifth grade. I was always very short, small, and petite. And there was a girl on the bus and she was talking junk or something. I don't know, but and there was another melanated boy on the bus saying something to me. And y'all, I'm not gonna say I was always a fighter, but like I'm gonna stand up for myself. You're not gonna be saying stuff to me, even if I am little, and think that I'm not going to defend myself. Plus, I had a younger sister that I would defend as well. So I was her protector. So I forgot what was going on. I think the girl was, she was actually, see, I was going through this stuff even as a child. The girl was actually telling the boy stuff to say to me. Like she was on the other side of the aisle and she was saying stuff from her side, and she was saying something to the boy and the boy was saying stuff to me, and I think I was going back and forth with the boy, and whatever happened, I think he got up, I got up, and all of a sudden the bus was like fight, 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 like that. So I wasn't backing down from this boy, so we ended up fighting. But see, that's where you know something is wrong, because why is a boy fighting a girl anyway? Wow, I didn't know that. But yeah, so we got the fighting. Somehow I must have got punched in my eye and I had a black eye. But y'all, when I tell you I scratched the fucking skin off his head, like he had literally scratch marks going down the skin got scratched the fuck off of his head. Excuse my profanity, because I remember that. I he looked like a cat got onto his ass. And I remember the girl was like, yeah, and I was little, so I was taking two on at one time. The girl was like, and her name was Ebony. That was the bitch's name. I remember her because she had these braids. She was kind of like, yeah, I remember her. She's like, oh, if you get at her, I'm gonna get in it too. So she comes down the aisle. So she got scratched the fuck up too. She had this big long scratch mark on her arm where I had tore her up. So after that, my adrenaline was like rushing by the time we got to our bus stop and they let us off the bus. Like I was so mad, I was crying. You know, when a person is so mad, they're crying. That's how I was. I was that mad. So walking from the bus stop, and the parents, they used to be waiting like for their children. So I remember, and y'all, this was in Germany. So we had this long, I'm talking about probably like a 10-minute walk back to where we lived, because we had to go like under this bridge. My mama didn't want us to cross the street, so we had to go the long way. She said, never, ever, 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 ever cross the street. Because you know, in Germany, there's no speed limit. She just didn't trust it. So we used to go under this bridge and we had to walk up these steps, and we had to come all the way down this sidewalk and walk all the way. Like it was a very long walk. So as we're walking, one of the women, she saw the boy and she saw the girl, and she was like, one of the girls was like, this was the sister or somebody, excuse me, are you the one that scratched my brother like that? And I looked at her and I said, yes, I am. And then the mother was like, come on, come on, come on, or whatever. So I don't know what happened after that, but I do know that somebody in the building must have called my daddy at work or something. My mama came home. They found out what had happened or whatever on the bus. So my parents went to go have a meeting with their parents to talk about what happened. So they must have left and went to go talk to their parents or whatever. They met up whatever day. They went to go talk about it. And the mother of the girl was like, yeah, she said that your daughter scratched her. So the girl came from out the back room or whatever. So she came with her arm, showing her arm scratched. And I remember my mama came back home. She was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, she tore her ass up. She was like, yeah, I felt kind of good when I saw it. Yeah, because she had no business messing with me. Like I was so petite. Like I'm a very small person. So you really have no right to even threaten me or do anything to me because I'm so small that anything that I do is going to be self-offense and self-defense and I'm not going to fight fairly. I'm not going to fight fairly because I am so little. So any inkling inkling of you doing something to me, I'm probably going to overreact. That's why I get very um I just have to be very mindful of that because I know that I can do something to somebody and it could send me to jail basically. I will probably end up in jail because of what type of action I will take. And this has happened to me before as an adult. And I think I told y'all Harrison Wilson's father was my attorney. His father is no longer here. He passed away from he had diabetes, you guys. But yeah, it was a big flock of melanated bitches. And they, wanted to mess with my sister. They wanted to mess with. I used to have to go pick my sister up and take her back. I used to pick her up from school. Because they took her out of our school because ratchet bitches, y'all. So it's like when you are a certain caliber of a person, you go through drastic extreme measures to get away from these bitches and they still are fixated on you. So that's what happened in Germany. And of course, it was a melanated male, melanated female, two against one. I had to defend my honor. And that was that. Um, but I was okay. The second time I had a black eye, and this was not a real black eye. I went to the club with someone and we were dancing and somehow somebody's head hit me like right here and I didn't realize it at the time, but I'm real tough, y'all. So a lot of times I can take punches to the face. Let me not say that because it's not like I've had people punch me in my face, but I can take like hard tough stuff that a lot of people can't handle. I can take pain very well, which I don't like to be in pain. But yeah, somebody had their head had hit me on accident. And I didn't realize it until like the next day or early that morning. I'm looking in the mirror and I saw like a little, and you barely could see it, like the eye had blackened a little bit, but it wasn't anything major. But that was the only two times that I had a black eye, y'all. That was it. That was it. Y'all don't be posting inappropriate things in my comment section. Okay. I'm just gonna forewarn you right now. Do not do it. So that was that. That was the only time, y'all know about my wrist injury. That was not fun. And actually, at the scene, the paramedic could not even understand how well I was dealing with it because my fingers were all disjointed. Like, I still have a picture of it. I mean, everything, and this was swollen. Like, if I show you a picture of it, all of this was just knocked out of alignment. They actually had to reset my bone, okay? And I was awake for that. So I'm very tough. So people like to miscalculate and misjudge people, but sometimes the most what they like to call frail, tiny, small, petite people are some of the toughest people because they've always had to endure so much. Because you have cowardly people that are twice your size that I don't know what their issue is, but they feel like they will. Yeah, I would fight a dude. I mean, not now, but back then I would fight a boy. I remember back in the day, like I can be feisty and I'm not weak. I'm very strong physically. But I just feel like females shouldn't be out here fighting. I feel like I am too much of a lady, right, to be fighting. I shouldn't have to. First of all, I'm too old to be doing stuff like that. Like, no, but I'm not even about to go back and forth with another female like that unless it comes down to my life being threatened and you're actually physically assaulting or attacking me. I'm not about to do that because I have too much to lose. I am too mature for that. If you want to go to high school and you want to be trying to put your hands on somebody, go do that with somebody that's on your low level. But I'm too above that, y'all. This is why a lot of times celebrities and stuff, I'm 5'2". Noko, I'm 5'2". Thank you. But a lot of times, this is why celebrities, if you notice, they don't even intermingle with the general population. Like Chris Brown had some type of charge brought up on him for attacking someone. And I think he was facing jail time. I don't think he's going to actually have to go to jail, but you don't know. It could have been a provoking spirit trying to get Chris Brown's attention. Y'all know Chris Brown is trained. His hands, I think, are registered and he's trained, okay, to use those hands. He could throw those hands. So you just got to be careful because even like I saw a video of Mike Tyson on a plane and this guy was messing with Mike Tyson and kept messing with him. And Mike finally turned around. I don't know what he did. He barely touched that guy, two-pieced him real quick, and the guy had blood just dripping. And I was like, he did that so he could say, "Oh, I got punched by Mike Tyson." And people will do that so they can set you up and be like, "Oh, let me sue you," because they want a lawsuit, y'all. That's why a lot of celebrities don't intermingle with the general population because they basically are a liability at that point. They're setting themselves up, and so they have other people to handle that stuff for them. And now I understand it. You said when you okay, well, if they're mad about Donald Trump, then they need to go figure that out. So I don't know. Shut up. Okay, a mega. All right, that's enough. Okay. You because the moderator is about to kick you out of the group. But yeah, um, yeah, y'all. Take one of the cats and throw it at the person. Let the cat attack them. Yeah, so all the females out there, if you know what I'm talking about, then you understand what it is. You just can't help that you attract this stuff toward you and just continue to be your highest and greatest self. And the males out there, let me not discount you out of the conversation, but I'm speaking from a female's perspective because I am a female first. But as a person in general, if you're going through this, then I just want to send this message out there. Don't let people trick you out of. Thank you, Omega, for being respectful. um, don't let people trick you out of your blessings, okay? Because what's meant for you is it's not meant to be taken away from you by these demonic spirits, okay? And like, these situations can escalate very quickly because it did escalate quickly earlier. And in no time, in a split second, this is how you get people fighting outside. Next thing you know, somebody shot somebody. I mean, it can go down like that, especially when people are enraged and they can't control their energy, y'all. But, just to give you another example, at another school again, and y'all, you would think that it's me, but I am not causing this on myself. Apparently, bitches are having issues with me that I'm unaware of. I'm working with kindergartners, and I told this story probably twice before in the channel how there was an autistic boy attacking the children in the class, putting his hands on the girls, hitting them, taking their stuff, tearing it up, throwing it, tried to come at me, and you're not going to attack me. Coming at me like he wanted to throw something at me. I had to pretend like I was chasing him around the classroom so he would stop. No, no, no. Then he wants to come out his mouth talking some nigga bitch motherfucker. Like what? You saying the N word, the B word, and the MF word. Where are you learning this stuff from? And you're Hispanic. Sit your ass down. So, I was irritated and I was frustrated and I said, this don't make no sense. I said, they keep bringing this boy back in the classroom, knowing that he's erratic, knowing he's out of control, and all the other children have to keep getting exposed to this. He's putting his hands on other children and they're not doing anything about it. If this were my child, I would be irritated. You letting this boy come in here and dominate the classroom like this. And all the children, they don't hit him back. They just sit there and have to deal with it because, oh, he's special. And let me let you know, ladies and gentlemen, they have one or two of these in every classroom. And if your child is in kindergarten, you better ask your child some questions and make sure they're not getting attacked and assaulted every single day by these children because they are allowing it at the schools. Yes, they are. I've seen it happen on more than one occasion in more than one classroom. It was another classroom where the boy actually stripped down to his underwear in front of the rest of the children. I had no idea that this was one of his behaviors. And this is they said this is what he does. They ended up eventually getting him out of the school and sending him somewhere else. But in this other scenario, they kept him there. He got kicked off the bus because of how he was attacking the other children on the bus. So the mother had to bring him back and forth to school. Well, one of the other teachers, she calls herself a teacher, was passing by and she overheard me fussing about this boy. So she brings herself to the doorway talking about, maybe you don't need to be here. And da da da, like running her mouth, melanated bitch, to me for no reason, right? I'm not even talking to her. Why are you at my door talking to me? We had words back and forth. We had to go sit in front of the principal's office. And I got that conversation recorded right now. Now, I feel like she had a problem with me from the very beginning, y'all, because like I said, I would be in the classroom with these children. And when she would go to pull the children from the classroom, she would never address me. She would always send one of the kindergartners to come get another kindergartner. And some of these kindergartners did not have the proper capability of communicating because they, had some special stuff going on. So I noticed that, and my vibe told me that she didn't really like me. And you just feel the energy. So, y'all always use your gift of discernment. Don't ever second guess your gut feeling. Don't ever second guess yourself. If you feel like something is off with a person, it's off with that person. They don't like you, they have an issue with you. And don't let people talk you out of it. Oh, maybe you're overlooking, and maybe it's this, and trying to give people the benefit of the doubt. Don't do that. Don't do that, because giving people the benefit of the doubt can come back and bite you later. All right. So, especially females, be careful. But yeah, the long story short, the principal was still trying to get me to work there permanently, trying to give me a job. People did like me. The other from what I understood, she was saying like the other associates there like me, as far as the staff, the teachers, the children loved me, y'all. Um, Even till this day, like I've seen children like around the area that recognize me, and I'm not trying to be recognized, and they get all excited, like you came to our school. Yeah, so you said John 3:16, Derek. Sorry, I just got an email. We need to be more like the Most High. God didn't allow the devil to rule heaven and kicked him down. We need to do the same. Yeah. Yep. Trissy, stop allowing this demonic energy to be intermingled with the rest of us that are not like that. Yeah, I definitely agree. And I am so in love with my lights in the background. I love my lights. I hope y'all like my lights. They're very colorful. They're on the rainbow um, setting. Okay. These gave me great pleasure last night just by looking at them. But yeah, I really appreciate y'all for joining. We're gonna have to do an episode of F Your Feelings Friday. I don't know what we're gonna talk about. We're going to talk about something, but yeah, don't let these demonic energies and spirits take over your life. And, you know, basically they come to ruin. Okay. So just understand that, y'all. Unfortunately, you know, they come to ruin. I was trying to see if I could find myself on the live stream. Oh, thank you to the new subscribers. I appreciate y'all. And yeah, we just talk about real topics over here, real life scenarios. Life is not picture perfect. And I just want to, share experiences the best way I can, without giving too much information, to let people know it's okay to be human and realistic in this world. And you don't have to sugarcoat stuff to make other people feel comfortable, because people are not sugarcoating stuff for us, right? People are not caring about how they make a F your feelings. Remember? F your feelings Friday. It's F your feelings Friday. They don't care. So we got to put ourselves first, put our feelings first, put what makes us happy first, put our safety first. Do what we need to do to protect ourselves. All right. Because if nobody else is going to protect you, you're going to have to protect yourself. Right. We are living in some very precarious times in a very unfair world, y'all. You cannot play fair in an unfair world. We're living in an unfair world. And it's unfortunate that we're dealing with this stuff. But no, I had the shades on because my eyes are tired. Okay. That's why I had sunshades on, y'all. My eyes are very tired. And so even when I used to go into the office and work, y'all, I used to have like sunshades on, like a light. I used to have something on my eyes because the lights would cause my eyes to be tired. Staring at a computer screen all day can cause your eyes to be tired, y'all. I used to go from one job straight to the next, one job straight to the next, and I did that for years. And by the time you get to that second job, them eyes be tired, y'all. So I was talking to the eye doctor one day, and they were like, when you're straining and looking at a computer screen, you need to have time to readjust and to refocus your eyes. You said God didn't allow the devil to trick him out of his spot. Got to have that same energy. I love it, Tracy B. I love that. You're so right. I love that. All of the lights, all of the lights. Yes. So, it's just people are always trying to gain attention and stuff like that. But yeah, we just have to pour energy and attention into what's important. And really, what's important is you, your life, what makes you happy, what are your interests, who your interests are, who you be with, things that make you smile, what number to dial. You're going to be here with your crew. That's what Biggie said, right? So, you just take people with a grain of salt. Take your life seriously, but not too serious, and try to have fun in the midst of it. And whoever gets triggered by it, so what? You're gonna trigger somebody. If you have special divine energy, somebody's gonna get triggered. Usually demons get triggered from angels, right? Angelic warriors are always going to trigger demons in someone. Just know that when you are of high value, you're going to trigger somebody. There's nothing that you can do about that. Nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so people are just miserable out here. Weird energy, y'all. Weird energy comes from everywhere, whether it's in person, whether it's on the internet, on social media. People are always, oh, and even on the phone, weird energy is always lurking around trying to find someone. So just understand that, know who you are, and these insane weirdos out here, let them stay in the low abyss of which they dwell. Okay? All right, y'all. Thank you. No codes. These needed. I hope I said that right. Y'all, but this has been an episode of Brown Girls Are Beautiful. Make sure you check me out on TikTok, BGAB Clothing. Okay, I do have a clothing brand. You can find my website at www.bgabclothing.com. I sell melanated king shirts, melanated queen shirts and tank tops, dresses, crop top, hoodies, short sets, all types of cute stuff, even stuff for your toddlers and anybody, actually, dresses and all types of things. Very cute stuff. You can also find me on Instagram at BGAB_TV. And that is it. I'm also on Rumble, Living Legend TV, y'all. So yeah, I'm on Patreon. I'm on a different multitude of platforms. So thank y'all for tuning in. Remember to always walk in your divinity, celebrate yourself. And until next time, y'all stay winning. Okay, stay winning, y'all. Signing out, y'all.